Okay, welcome back to the Rise and Fall Trading Hub. This is part 10C of 18, and I've decided to quickly upload this part because of part 10A and B. If you've watched part 10A and B and you've been practicing the engulfing kind of patterns, then this part is for you. Now, if you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly do so, like, comment and share, give feedback so that we can continue. So you will allow me to go direct into this. Let me not repeat what we said in part 10A and 10B. Remember, in 10A we spoke about the engulfing candle patterns. In 10B I demonstrated to you how you can use that to trade manually. And in this part I want to show you how you can increase the profitability. Now, if you've been practicing this, you might have noted something, that the engulfing candle pattern is one of the best candle patterns. In fact, its profitability is a little over 80% according to me, and I'm here to show you how you can increase that. So it doesn't work all the time like 100%. Of course, the reef cannot allow that. So sometimes an engulfing candle pattern may form, you enter a trend and you make a loss. I'm here to tell you why you make a loss and how you can avoid that loss. Now let's go right into it. If you look at this is the reef trending view. If you look at this part here, this is an example of a bearish engulfing pattern. It's an example of a bearish engulfing pattern. So remember, we said if you see the pattern forming, immediately it closes. For instance, in this bearish engulfing pattern, immediately this candlestick closed here, talking about this one, immediately the red one closed, you are supposed to enter a trend immediately. And if you didn't, if you up with a profit. Now in this case, if you look at this part, of course you make a profit, but it doesn't happen all the time. It's not like in all cases that it happens. So I'm talking about this part. This is a bearish engulfing. Let me remove this. Okay, so this is a bearish engulfing pattern. A normal one. So if you enter a trend, this is 5 minutes time frame. So if you entered a trend here, so you trended using this candlestick, you would make a profit. Now let me show you another example before I show you the pitfalls and how you can avoid them. Another example of engulfing pattern. Of course, I know you've been practicing this. And if you have, then you must be profitable by now, because this pattern works most of the times. Okay, the other good example of the engulfing candle pattern, so I've talked about this one. And I can show you another one. Exactly. If you look at this one, here we have a bearish engulfing pattern. Here we have a bullish engulfing pattern, but I don't like this one because there is no clear trend. Remember we said make sure that there is a clear trend. This one is a bearish and bullish engulfing pattern. So I want you to look at these two patterns here. This one, which I have explained, this one we have said is a bearish one. Okay, the bearish one, showing that the trend is reversing and it will be a downtrend. But look at this one. In this case, we have, yes, there is a bearish engulfing pattern. We would expect that the next candlestick formed would be red, would be bearish. But if you look at this part, the next candlestick formed is bullish. So if you enter the trend here, and I want you to listen carefully, if you enter the trend here immediately after the this one closed, you enter the trend here, you would end up with a loss. Why? Because it's a bullish candlestick that formed. This candlestick is called the retracement candlestick. It's called the retracement candlestick. This is what the RIV uses to make sure that you are not profitable all the time. So because the RIV knows immediately this candle pattern is formed, the RIV knows that we will enter our trends. So it will give you this candlestick and you end up losing your money. But of course, if you look at the trend, it obeyed this pattern and it continued to fall. The market continued to fall. So how do you overcome this problem? And I hope you can see what I'm talking about. So in this case, this is a normal bearish engulfing. This one is also a bearish engulfing, but the candlestick formed immediately after the engulfing candlestick is a bullish one. Now look at this example. This one is a bullish engulfing, but the candlestick formed immediately is a red one. Now it would mean that, look at this one. This one is a bullish engulfing, but the candlestick formed immediately was a red one. So first of all, we said for you to trend the bullish and bearish engulfing patterns, always look for a clear trend. For instance, this is a good trend. This is a good trend. Now, so how do you overcome the problem of the retracement candlestick? Now that is very simple, and that is why I'm here with this part. If you look at this one is a bearish engulfing, a normal one. This one and this one are just the normal kind of bearish engulfing patterns. And of course, if you enter the trend here immediately after the formation of this red one, that is after the formation of this one, if you enter the trend, you would make a profit. But if you enter the trend here, you would make a loss. So how can you ensure that every time an engulfing pattern is formed, you end up with a profit? What you do is, if you are analyzing using the 5 minutes time frame, after the formation of the engulfing pattern, immediately the engulfing candlestick closes, you enter a trend, but instead of trending using the 5 minute, you trend using 10 minutes. So you multiply that by 2. If you analyzed using 5 minutes, you enter a trend using 10 minutes. If you analyzed using 2 minutes, you enter a trend using 4 minutes. But I really advise that you use from 5 minutes onwards, so that it gives you time for cashing out. This can be a very good strategy to grow a small account. So what is the logic behind all that? If this one is formed within 5 minutes, this small candlestick, this the retracement needs to form 5 minutes to form. But after that, in the next 5 minutes, the market will fall up to this point. So if you enter the trend here, after 10 minutes, you would be profitable. if you enter the trend here, after 10 minutes still you will be profitable. So that's why I'm saying, so if you enter the trend here, after 10 minutes you will be profitable. That's why I'm saying it's always going to go to double the time frame and enter a trend using double the time frame that you have used to analyze. That way you are going to beat the system and you will always be profitable. That's a very, very, very important secret that you needed to know. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe and give a feedback.